Reports say the Nigerian cabin crew of Virgin Atlantic have been disengaged. They were only given a 3-week notice and no severance package, regardless of their length of service, will be paid. Last year, the Nigerian call center let go of all the Nigerian staff. The airline has in the past had issues with the Nigerian government. It will be recalled that in 2003, the government of former President Olusegun Obasanjo invited the chairman of Virgin Atlantic Airways, Sir Richard Branson, to float a domestic carrier in the country after the liquidation of Nigeria Airways. Branson heeded the call, and Virgin Nigeria Airways was set up with Virgin Atlantic as its technical partner. 6 years down the line, the British carrier pulled out of the deal. An average of 15 million passengers travel through the country's airports domestically and internationally. The federal government has in the past few years embarked on remodeling of the airports under its control. But passengers and stakeholders say more still needs to be done in the area of passenger comfort, especially whenever they arrive at the terminals to board the planes. Here in Lagos, some passengers spoke to Aviation This week in the face of the recent ratings of airports in Nigeria, insisting that government is not a good manager.
The government really has no business in management. What is the role of government? Government creates enabling environment for business to thrive. As Airport being one of the best in terms of structure, my government recognizes that to open up that airport is PPP. You concession the management.
I would advise the government to open hands for foreign investors, private people who can manage this industry and make it conducive for people, because people are suffering.
Others feel the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria can understudy a model that works.
Old airport is having only one problem. Why I avoid that airport is that while you are coming down from the aircraft, you will have to walk a lot. And then a lot of grammar goes there when you are entering to collect your luggage. That's why I don't like. That problem we don't have in MM2.
On the whole, passengers say they look forward to the development of super infrastructure that will ensure comfort, convenience, and facilitation of movement around the country. On the foreign scene, one of the world's biggest air shows is underway in Dubai, the United Arab Emirates. This year's show is notable owing to the absence of big civil aircraft orders, underlining a slowdown in the rate of aircraft purchase by airlines. Defense deals were again the main focus, although Emirates Airlines signed a $16 billion deal for GE Aviation to maintain aircraft engines. The previous Dubai show in 2013 notched up a record $206 billion in orders for passenger aircrafts. But after a spending spree over recent years, airlines have reined in orders. A $1.27 billion contract from the United Arab Emirates for an upgraded Saab radar surveillance system for new aircraft reflected a shift in focus at the show. Additionally, Lockheed Martin won a $262.8 million contract from the U.S. Air Force to service some of Saudi Arabia's fighter jets. And Embraer Defense and Security said Lebanon will buy 6 Super Tucano aircrafts for basic missions and training. The worsening security situation in the Middle East has led to several states increasing their defense spending in spite of falling oil prices, meaning a cut in revenues. And in Germany, the union representing cabin crew at Lufthansa has rejected the airline's new offer, insisting the strike would continue. But Lufthansa, which has been beset by strikes from various unions over the past 2 years, said it would increase a one-time payment to 19,000 cabin crew employees to 3,000 euros each from 2,000 euros if the UFO union immediately called off a week-long strike that began on Friday. The company has also offered a 1.7% wage increase effective from January and an additional 1.7% raise a year later. According to Lufthansa, the strike has been shouldered by millions of passengers and more than 100,000 Lufthansa employees, so the company is doing everything to find a solution to end it. The one-time payment may make the offer look better, but it fails to address the critical retirement issue that's a sticking point in a protracted dispute.
Over the years, many plane mishaps has occurred across the country, increasing the fear of taking flights to different places. For some, traveling by air for some individuals is fun and also an opportunity for sightseeing, and for some others, it's the most dangerous way of going on a trip. Before booking a flight, a lot of people try to find out if the airline they are going to fly is a safe one. However, it's very difficult to say if an airline is safe or unsafe. What should be of utmost concern to an aircraft passenger is having some level of knowledge of flight safety in case an emergency landing occurs. The first and most helpful step a passenger can embark on is the one taken before the actual takeoff. Listen to the cabin crew. There are several safety tips. The first has to do with the seatbelt. Every passenger on board is expected to fasten his or her seatbelt before the plane takes off. Secondly, the seat should be upright and in a locked position during takeoff as well as the end of the trip. Then the emergency exits. Jets and turboprops typically sport an emergency egress in addition to regular doors such as main cabin and/or flight deck door. And for some other aircraft, is the main cabin door closed after a water ditching, when the emergency exit may be more appropriate. Emergency O2. Flying above 25,000 feet, unconsciousness comes quickly in the event of depressurization. At 30,000 feet and above, unconsciousness comes in seconds. Death ultimately follows if left unattended. You need to know how to get emergency oxygen and have an idea of how to apply and use it. Only then can you offer your help to others. You should also be aware that a fire extinguisher could be necessary if a fire occurs on board. Remember the 3 nearly universal steps. Remove the locking pin, point the nozzle at the base of the fire in almost all cases, and squeeze the handle, moving the nozzle from side to side to cover the base. Automated External Defibrillator, AED. These come in sizes down to around the dimensions of a 3-inch 3-ring binder, and they are used to save lives. All you need to do is find out the location. Survival Kit. The odds of going down somewhere beyond the reach of immediate help seems low in today's world, but such incidents do occur. Even if your aircraft goes down only a few miles from an airport, you'd want to avail yourself of as much material help as possible. Space blankets, for example, can help someone ward off the short-term impact of shock and the long-term impact of trauma. And when on board, you need to locate the passenger's checklist. Locate all doors and exits on the airline and identify the instructions. Locate emergency oxygen sources and confirm with crew whether automatic masks deploy upon depressurization. Where is the first aid kit? Injuries can happen in flight too. In case of fire, where is or where are the extinguishers? Ask crew if there is one in the cockpit, if not in the cabin, or whether there's one in both. Know the whereabouts of flares and other signaling devices. Where is and how do you operate the radio in an emergency? All of these will indeed help whenever any emergency incident happens.
That's all on this edition of the program. Our feedback platform is just a mail away. We're waiting to hear from you. I'm Bukola Jokitumbi. Bye for now.